Now at 6, Washington County detectives are looking for more victims of this man. Why they believe he's involved in sex trafficking.
And if you use the site 23andMe, Oregon's Attorney General wants you to listen up how the company's recent bankruptcy file could affect your personal data.
Plus, a North Portland pool demolition put on pause.
Well, it's better than it being torn down. I mean, I think it gives people time to organize.
Now neighbors are hoping this will lead to the pool reopening. KGW News at Sunrise starts right now. Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm China Green.
And I'm Ashley Graham's in today for Drew Carney.
We'll get to Chris McGinnis and the traffic report in just a second. But Rod Hill live at the waterfront park because the cherry blossoms have reached peak bloom.
There they are in all their glory. If you didn't know, there are 100 of these trees down here at the Japanese American Historical Plaza. We're in the north end of Tom McCall Waterfront Park. It's a great spot along here, the walkway. This time of the morning, Portland's getting up. We've seen an increased number of joggers and bikers and some people just out taking a morning stroll. You've even seen some of the rowers getting their morning workout on the Willamette River. Had a little pod of rowers a little bit earlier this morning. Let's get you to your forecast. We'll talk more about these beautiful cherry blossom trees coming up later in our show. Here's the fog picture from the camera. It sits atop of the Wells Fargo building in downtown Portland. 52 is the temperature. The immediate weather story this morning is the fog. So far, no fog on the east side. And right now, we've actually seen the fog pockets start to decrease a little bit, but still, where you see the 0.25, that's the definition of dense fog, a quarter of a mile visibility at the airport in Hillsborough. And there is a fog advisory up until 11 this morning, up and down the entire coast. Both Astoria and Newport reporting dense fog at this hour. We're at 52 degrees with foggy areas. This will go on to be a partly to mostly sunny day. I expect us to have a big warm up by noon, 70 degrees. We're going to leave the forecast high at 78. Remember, the record today for the date is 74, so we will easily surpass that. Here is Chris McGinnis with your traffic this morning.
Consecutive days in the 70s in March. I love it. All right, let's get out the door. This is a little foggy look at the I-205 Airport Way interchange. The traffic's still pretty light on that side of town, so that's good. Highway 26 near the Sylvan Hill, we're getting a little bit busier from our last check, but still no major freeway trouble out there just yet. I do want to remind folks in the Oregon Coast Range, this is video that we shot yesterday near the bump, the big area of sunken grade that is causing drivers to slow significantly on Highway 26. This is near milepost 13. Just be aware of that if you're heading that direction. More, of course, on that coming up in just a little bit. Ladies.
Thank you so much, Chris. In our top story this morning, Washington County detectives have accused a man of sex trafficking.
And now they're looking for more potential victims. Thomas Schultz joins us from the newsroom. So, Thomas, what else do we know here?
Well, deputies say a domestic violence report against 26-year-old Jesse Lee St. Marie Blankenship turned into a larger case of sex trafficking. Now they're looking for more victims. We want to show you a photo of St. Marie Blankenship right here, released by the Washington County Sheriff's Office. Law enforcement says he initially racked up several charges for assault and strangulation, stemming from violent incidents in Gresham and Washington County this year. Investigators say St. Marie Blankenship also violated parole for a prior conviction of assaulting a woman. 3 weeks ago, deputies spotted St. Marie Blankenship at an apartment complex near Northwest West Union Road in Bethany Boulevard. He tried to escape, but authorities were able to arrest him, actually. Soon, they learned St. Marie Blankenship was allegedly not just violent, but also involved in sex trafficking. And last week, grand juries in Washington and Multnomah County indicted him on 30 charges. Now, they're asking people to come forward if they were a victim or a witness to a crime.
Now we think, are there additional victims out there? Detectives decided, yes, we think there are additional victims out there. We need to figure out who they are.
St. Marie Blankenship has been held without bail at the Washington County Jail since the beginning of March. He's pleaded not guilty. His trial is set for later this year. China.
Thomas, thank you. We now know a 16-year-old girl who died in a crash outside Staten over the weekend was a junior at McNary High School. The driver, 33-year-old Christopher Atkinson right there, has been charged with manslaughter, assault, reckless driving, and 4 counts of furnishing alcohol to an intoxicated person under 21. The deadly crash happened along Fern Ridge Road east of Staten Sunday night. 16-year-old Zoliah Johnson was killed. 3 other minors, ages 12 to 16, were in the car at the time. In court, the victim's family members spoke over the phone, asking the judge to keep Atkinson in jail.
I do not think he did ever get out. I have a daughter living in Dornbecker right now with tubes in her, with broken ribs and punctured lungs.
The judge denied bail. Police say they're still looking into how Atkinson knew the 4 minors in the car, saying he was not related to any of them.
And with the help of the in-car emergency service OnStar, Portland police found a stolen car and arrested the suspect. This happened yesterday afternoon around 12:30. Portland police say they spotted a stolen car in the parking lot next to Fred Meyer on Northeast 67th Avenue. As they were watching, a person got in and they drove away. Officers were able to track the car with OnStar, which then stopped the vehicle at Northwest 158th and Airport Way just off the Columbia Slough. And we do have an update for you. The Hood River County Sheriff says it has suspended efforts to remove a car from the Columbia River that's believed to be tied to the Martin family, who disappeared nearly 70 years ago. Earlier this month, crews pulled up the car's engine and chassis in Cascade Locks, but because of the condition, investigators couldn't absolutely confirm it was the Martin's car. While there are more parts of the car left, the sheriff's office said it would be challenging to try and continue the recovery process.
Patients at 2 Columbia River health clinics are trying to figure out what to do after they say the Vancouver facilities closed abruptly. One is used for mental health services, the other for addiction treatment. Some patients of the Addiction Treatment Center, North Star Clinic, say they waited hours for their final prescription after getting a message saying it was the last day to pick up their medication before the clinic closed. And at Columbia River Health Mental Services, patients say the center is vital to their lives.
They didn't offer no insight, they didn't offer nothing. They just closed the doors. So a lot of people right now who actually desperately need those mental health services are going to be without those mental health services. And that's bad. That's really bad.
We reached out to the companies, both companies, to ask why the closures happened. We haven't heard back yet.
And Portland Mayor Keith Wilson is pausing plans to tear down the Columbia Pool in North Portland. His decision comes just days before it was set to be demolished. The city closed the pool 3 years ago over safety hazards. Before that, it was slated for a new aquatic center thanks to a 2020 parks levy and $15 million of state funding. But that combined money only accounted for half the projected cost. District 2 councilors asked Mayor Wilson to pause the demolition to explore more funding sources. We talked with one neighbor who says she wants the pool to reopen.
I would love for them to talk about how we can figure out how to fund all of these things, because parks are what makes Portland so special.
Portland Parks and Rec tells us the mayor's pause is not a commitment or a decision to renovate the pool. And right now, no funding has been identified for renovation or reopening. Demolition plans are set to be paused for 1 year.
And coming up after sunrise, the Today Show is talking about snacks. Snacking habits are changing due to costs, eating trends, and even weight loss drugs. Now, companies are offering an array of new flavors and options to entice consumers. The Today Show has the latest on the snack industry and what you should know about new choices and good deals on all your favorite snacks. And all this morning, our Rod Hill is forecasting live from the Portland waterfront while giving us a close-up look at the newly bloomed cherry blossoms. Looking pretty out there. I'm talking about the blossoms.
Yeah, by the way, China, 3 o'clock nachos, that still works for a snack, by the way. Some things never change. Aren't they beautiful? We're looking at the cherry blossoms. It looks like they really are in peak form right now. In fact, every time the wind picks up a little bit, we're noticing we get snowed on, you know, the popular way to say it, the blossoms are starting to drop some of their petals. We're down here at the waterfront this morning live, showing off the Japanese American Historical Plaza and these beautiful trees. We're going to have more on the history of this area coming up in the next half hour of sunrise. Let's get you out the door. It is a foggy morning. Temperatures are holding in the upper 40s to around 50 degrees throughout the area. And of course, we have our own, you folks in Salem have your own beautiful cherry blossoms there lining the mall in front of the Capitol. 50 degrees is your temperature, with fog in the area, but so far not seeing fog in that viewpoint of the Capitol. One of the cooler numbers out in Hillsborough at 46, Beaverton's at 51, also 51 degrees down in West Lynn this morning. There's no wind, and we haven't really had any fog reported on the east side. It's been mainly downtown Portland, south, north, and west. Salem, again, your temperature been holding in the upper 40s, and it's 50 degrees down in Albany this morning. We will lose the fog, and we'll go on to be partly to mostly sunny this afternoon with the warmest day of the year so far. We hit 70 on the 27th of February. We hit 70 again yesterday. And today we think we shoot into the mid 70s easily. The record is 74. We'll pass that as we expect to be up to about 78 in Portland. This does show 70 in Tillamook and 75 degrees out in Pilton. A completely dry day. Here's our 7-day forecast. So the record high of 78 today. Tomorrow up into the 70s. It's kind of tough to tell how far the temperature will go before we start getting afternoon clouds in advance of thunderstorm activity. But we do have the KGW weather impact alert still up for tomorrow afternoon and evening for what is expected to be at least some thunderstorm activity and potentially a pretty good light show coming through the area at 5, 6 o'clock tomorrow. After that, we're back into the 50s with clouds, rain at times, and cooler weather starting on Thursday. That's your update live from the Japanese American Historical Plaza along the Willamette River this morning.
Love it. So beautiful. And you know what? It's not enough for us just to see those blooms down there. We want to see the cherry blossoms in your neck of the woods. So text us your photos to that number on your screen. That's 503-226-5088, and we will share them right here on Sunrise.